homosexuality is a sin, then adultery is a sin. Fornication is a sin. Divorce is a sin. And none of them are bigger than the other.
Give it up for the Kirk Franklin.
When was the last time you questioned God?
I'm a broken man trying to follow a healed God. I have questions daily. I have doubts and fears daily.
You know, being adopted, your biological mother at 4 years old.
Abandoned me. My adopted mother, she never told me she was proud of me. She never told me I would be anything.
You know, you went through life thinking one man was your father. What was it about your past and the traumatic things you experienced that never allowed you to think that I can't worship God?
All my life, 10 minutes away, a man was my biological father. Feels cruel. Can you imagine all the mistakes I've made in my life, not having a man in my life to tell me where not to step? All the mistakes, all the failures I've made because I didn't know where to step. Feels cruel.
Where do you think things went wrong between you and your oldest son? You know, there's people who say, due to your son's openness about his bisexuality, that was an issue.
Let me say something to you.
Do you sometimes feel like you've chosen your career over your marriage?
Yes. Got married on Saturday and was on the road for months that Tuesday. And a lot of it is because what I do is more natural to me. Being domestic, being a husband and a father, that's where I had to work because, again, I never saw it modeled. My career often has been the other woman. Oh, yeah. Music was the first thing that told me it loved me.
A lot of people shun the church because they feel like they're walking into a territory that is extremely judgmental.
It's that there's church and there's the culture of church. I don't know why Christianity looks like a private club that everybody can get in.
You look at the conversation that arose with the Marvin Sapp clip about tithing and the church asking for money. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that my thoughts are very clear, and I feel very comfortable communicating them.
All right, man. So that's Kirk Franklin, and y'all be wondering why y'all can't find real men at the church. This is a problem. They sit here and try to justify some tomfoolery, right? Corey Holcomb had his friend on the 5150 show. I think it was late last year. He's a pastor, but he used to be a street dude. And Corey was calling him out on the show. The 5150 show, by the Bible said a woman, I'm paraphrasing, a woman cannot lead the congregation or lead, right? And he said, well, no, times ain't changed nothing. They always trying to manipulate the Bible to pander to women. And a lot of these YouTubers and content creators, all they did was run off with the fried chicken Christian script, right? This peep the church on so many different levels, bro. Like, a lot of the most holiest and most religious people do the most effed up stuff. Them dudes over in the Middle East, they're so, religious and all that stuff. But then again, they taking a number 1 and number 2 on women. They still going to Africa and taking them women and making them slaves and making them nurse their women. They were the first people, or amongst one of the first people to, I believe, to invent the slave trade. Look at the Catholic Church and the priests and the children and all that type of stuff, and how they sweep that under the rug, and people still say, well, all sins wait a second. No, they don't. Read the Bible. And Kirk Franklin sitting up there with Moist Boy, and he moist too. I'm moist. Trying to justify and say, being backdooria is the same. Nah, it ain't what the Bible say. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 13 says, if a man lie with mankind as he lies with women, he going to the upper room. He got to go to the upper room. How, in my opinion, is that the same? See, that's why we gotta read our Bibles. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta do better than that. Find me some downtime to read my Bible, because that's a fact. They tell you blanket statements, but you have to research it, bro. They say blanket statements. Man, I remember one time I was in church and the guy tried to say Adam was right there with Eve when the serpent told her to bite the apple. I ain't never heard that before. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? I never heard that before. And maybe he's right. I don't know. I never heard it put that way before. So that's why, you know, you as a young man, you know, especially a young black man, you already get blamed for everything. You know, especially if you raised by a single mother, they blame you for everything. Stretch marks, why they can't get a man, why they can't keep a man, why they fat, why they blame you for everything. Let's not forget that. Right? Wait till y'all see the Cartel Bow video I'm about to do. Well, I already did. Y'all probably, I don't know. I'm going to put them both up today. Today is Thursday. I'm going to put both of them up today. And they sit there and they try. And that's funny because a lot of women, they support homosexuality, you know, over heterosexual men, over masculinity. And the church is definitely a breeding ground for where they can do that at. Then they talk about they don't want the man in the church. Oh, you know, I want to reform Pookie. I want to reform Gangster. No, you don't. The church is a breeding ground. Most churches are a breeding ground for backdooria, for bladetivity, for switch hitting on both sides of the plate. Can we just keep it a bean? They don't want alpha men. They don't want leaders. But truly, that's what women want. You don't see the women really going for the guys in the church. Even the guys that's on the straight and up, they don't like them. They like the pastor because the pastor had a street life. The pastor is a reformed Pookie. But how they sit here and try to justify backdooria in the church and in the Bible, which supersedes their religion, is where they get their religion from, says, no, that's not the same as stealing. It's not the same as committing adultery. It's upper room time. If you do bust down Thothelina with your homeboy, it's upper room. It's you gone. So no, Kirk Franklin, don't justify what you do behind closed doors. Don't justify your backdooria. Don't justify your bladetivity. Don't say you a mook. And you know, word to the mother. Shout out to my New York ninjas, man. My boy Henry, Chris, Miggs. Like I said before. And I seen Cameron say it the other day. I should edit it in when he said word to your mother. He said that on the It Is What It Is. Since y'all niggas from New York say I don't say it no more. But, you know, Dad, they try to justify that shit, bro. You know, they try to justify that, man. They show them more support than they show heterosexual men in the church. No, the Bible's upper room. Upper room. So I just really don't understand that. Why don't they create? I don't really understand that about the Rainbow Gang. Why don't they just create their own community, bro? Own networks, own TV shows, own churches. Cool, write your own Bible. But y'all not gonna sit here and try to act like y'all on the straight up and up, right? But then try to justify the back door. Even if you on the straight and up, y'all just doing that to keep the money rolling in. Oh, everybody's not welcome. That's what I kind of fuck with the Nation of Islam on. Hey, you can't roll with us if you rolling that way. Go change your ways. They give you an opportunity to change your ways and then come back more pure. Hey, even the women that's hoeing in the Nation of Islam, I know somebody they caught sleeping, you know, having sex in the parking lot, being a little thought, kicked her out the nation. That's something that, you know, I can get behind. Even they courtship. I just don't understand why people feel like it's okay. Or start your own religion. This is what your religion say. This start your own. People gonna follow you regardless. And that's the problem, is because in a lot of times in these communities, the women, the churches, they support the most foulest things, bro. Like sleeping with children. The Catholic Church shouldn't have any more supporters. Any more supporters. But if you come out here and you that brother from the Detroit Lions, Ahmad St. Brown, and you Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you hit the Trump dance, you gotta apologize for hitting the Trump dance because you did a dance for Trump and you a Trump supporter. Hold on. Y'all was, you know, once y'all fried chicken Christians, a lot of y'all fried chicken Catholics, a lot of y'all was voting. Y'all was voting for a woman that wanted to delete children. They wanted to abort mission. Where do your allegiance stand at? That's what I want to know. You are committing murder. And you're trying to justify that because you can't keep your legs closed? I did a video on Wednesday night. This black lady said young boys should get vasectomies because your daughters can't keep their legs closed. And believe it or not, it's more women, you know, and when the children or the teenagers or young adults are all the same age, it's more children, it's more women that initiate sex first. We all know it. See, when they talk about the men initiating it, that's because young women are dealing with men. They're sneaking in the clubs. They at the weed spot, but wanting to smoke the weed, know it ain't free, and using their punani to get to what they want. Or sometimes the parents are keeping these weird uncles and these weird homeboys and friends, and they sleeping with their daughters and stuff. But you know what, man? I already spoke on that. Go check that video out on Free Game 89. Links in the description. Links also in the link tree, the first link description. Everything I create content at. Like I continue to tell y'all, brothers, they're trying to justify fuck shit. Excuse my language. That's what it is. They're trying to justify and oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay, bro. Your Bible says they should be deleted. Upper room. So how can that, in my opinion, how can that be? How can you preach that, bro? I don't get it. You should be ostracized from the church as the nation ostracizes you. And I believe as Islam ostracizes you. And that's what confuses people. It's a contradiction. And like I said, it's your lifestyle. It's a contradiction. And that's why a lot of people with Corey Holcomb point that out in Hollywood. It's a lot of people not living in your truth. And a lot of these women, they have an issue with DL men, and they DL too, but they have an issue with DL men. And that's all, you know, you should identify what you are to who you dealing with. Hey girl, you know, I bet on both sides of the plate, and they don't care. I've done countless videos on Free Game 89. I've done countless shorts on Free Game 89, pointing out these women are calling it lavender marriages and sleeping with men. Why don't they create their own religion? Create your own book. People will follow. Jim Jones had people follow him to the Ivory Coast and drink Kool-Aid and go to the upper room. People will follow. I don't understand that, man. And y'all think it ain't a special place in hell for y'all or in karma for y'all for what y'all pushing? And the young boys are seeing this within the church, and then y'all raising these boys, y'all wonder why they DL and wonder why they can't live in their truth. Or they not coming out as heterosexual, and you wondering why they can't come out as heterosexual and live in their truth because you lied to them in the damn church. Half the men in the church is not living their truth. It's a contradiction. You're confusing children. That's like the mama telling the daughter don't hoe, but she hoeing. The daughter more kids watch what you do than watch what you preach. But that's all I had to say, man. Check out the Real One-on-One playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch. Everything's inside the link tree from all the platforms, Patreon. I'm producing on. Peace.